And we're live.
How many calories I've burned. Is it a 5'2" woman? Is it a 6'5" man? Who knows? It's the same counter.
Get a smartwatch.
Yeah, I can't. I don't like wearing stuff in my hands.
How essential is your smartwatch, Kyle? You love it? Use it all the time?
Yeah, I absolutely love it. Yeah. I wear it almost all the time. I'm not wearing it now because I just got out of the shower and then hopped in here. So there's no reason to be wearing it. So it is sitting on my desk charging all the time. No, I love it. I've gotten tons of apps for it. I really like that I can remote control my camera on my phone from my watch. That's kind of cool. But just all the metadata that it keeps track of, your sleep patterns and stuff, how much REM sleep you're getting and how much deep sleep. I don't get very much deep sleep, apparently, 30 minutes a night, maybe. But I'll get
normal.
I have no idea. What am I going to do if I find out it's not, right? Sleep harder?
Take less caffeine.
Fuck that. I want my caffeine. I'm not stopping my caffeine. But yeah, I really like it. At first I was obsessed with getting new watch faces, but now it's just I don't know. I've got the super basic bitch, just all the information you could want in digital format, kind of thing going on.
I'm actually really curious. What's on your watch face? I saw time.
Oh, nothing crazy. Steps, weather report, the date, battery power, and my current time. Like nothing crazy there. But you rotate it once over and it gives a bunch of other more detailed stuff. I can't show because it shows exactly where I live. But it's got humidity and the UV level, the high and the low for the day, the current cloudy, sunny, rainy bullshit, and the temperature and my location. But you can program lots of locations if you commute for work or whatever. It's a smartwatch. It does a bunch of crazy stuff.
When do you charge
as far as usually when I'm in the shower, I just throw it on. It's one of those things where you just sit it on a pedestal.
Right.
So I take it off and sit it on that when I'm in the shower, and that's usually enough to.
You just shower.
Yeah, on a nightstand, as I'm passing to the bathroom, getting undressed, I just slap it on that thing, and that keeps it charged enough that it never runs out. Just charging it when I'm in the shower and maybe 30 minutes after.
Can I just say how much it sucks that as humans we acclimate to things so quickly that if you would have described to somebody that at our age that's 9 years old, in the future you're gonna have a watch that connects to some little device in your pocket that's 20 times more powerful than every fucking computer on the planet right now, and you're gonna be able to look up locations. It's gonna track you. It's gonna give you more information than mini maps in video games. It would have been the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, my watch has voice command. I can ask questions.
Yeah. And nowadays you get these devices and you're 3 hours of battery, fuck it, and you're you take everything for granted so much these days when there's so much cool shit, and it's fuck yeah, it sucks how easy to adjust everything. Yeah,
we're spoiled rotten with all this stuff.
So much.
What's it going to take to impress us now?
Virtual reality, real virtual reality. I was talking about we were playing
Star Trek thing, the holodeck.
Exactly.
That's what it would take physical, you could feel the lion you're pretending to fight.
I was playing Rust.
I don't know why you do that scenario.
I was playing Rust with that guy from Finland a couple nights ago, and it was just he and I, and it was 5 a.m, and we were just talking. And I was yeah, I really struggle with the gunplay in this game. But if they ever come up with some virtual reality where I'm holding the avatar of a gun and I've got a mask on and an omnidirectional treadmill underneath me, I'm gonna slay. I was like, that's what I need.
If VR gets to that level, you're not going to be holding guns. You're going to be holding anime titties. That's what's going to, not you personally, but it's going to be all porn. If we get to that level, it's going to be fucking porn.
That might be what is the driving force for the technology, but it'll get packeted over to the first person shooter genre and other stuff. But I agree with you in the same way that porn is what made VHS beat Betamax. Porn will be what makes whatever headset adopts it or VR system utilizes it. That's what'll bring it to the top, get it the funding it needs to make FPS work or RPGs or whatever. Any sort of game would be so incredibly cool with a setup like I just described, where you'd have a bunch of avatars you could hold. Oh yeah, this is for swords. This is weighted for a sword, and I can change the weighting in it so it's a light sword or a heavy sword. Yeah, this is for a pistol. This is for a rifle. This is for a shotgun. And you just if it's a shotgun, you pump it, and then it pumps in the game. Oh, that'd be so
The
fun.
Craziest thing is the society would be unbelievably changed. It would be so crazy because anytime you walk into a high school, the fucking shredded kids would be the gamers now, because they'd be like fucking mining rocks in fucking Rust or fucking World of Warcraft, and they'd be going to school like fucking shredded as fuck. And it's like, I can't wait to fucking go home and fucking work in the gulags for 6 more hours. It'd be insane,
Gulag simulator.
You'd be doing like your gym labs for qualification, and these people would like sprinting around. It's like, I don't even got chased with an AK right now. Like, I do this shit all day. Like, fucking, let's go, ladder up, dude.
I would love if that's
Ladder up.
ladder up. I would love if that's what actually happened and like everybody was getting fit from it. What I can actually see is like a select few people, like Kyle described, being like, yeah, this is awesome. I'm like up and moving, and everyone else doing that for like 3 days, and then them having to offer a DLC to opt back into seated gaming options.
It'll be a
and everyone
will be in a wheelchair sitting on the fucking ramp. Where it's like, I can't do it, dude.
Gaming, revolutionizing gaming. Now sit in a chair and just blow into a tube to direct your character.
God, I would love that so much. Like, because I struggle so much with like recoil control in Rust, and like, dude, if you just give me a real gun and make me hold it down, I got this. Let's go.
Well, the solution is definitely not the wands where you're holding like a pretend gun. Because I was watching Tucker try that for a couple minutes the other day. He was like, I got this. He's in his office building he bought, and he's got his headset and everything. You can see him standing in the room with the 2 things. And then you can also see obviously the game, which is him at a firing range, like picking up a sniper rifle or picking up an AK, and he picks up the sniper and he gets it in there and he like zooms in. And he's like, okay, well, we put the scope on backwards. It looks further away. How do we do that? So, like, then it took him like minutes trying to do that. And then he just threw that gun away and went and grabbed an AK and like pulled the bolt back the whole time. Like, you're slipping, you can't grab stuff right because it sucks. You're dropping it, having to pick it up. And then he knew where the safety was on there to turn it off. He's like, I know where it is. It's right fucking there. I can see it. Like, just pull it up. You can see safety, but you can't. And like, he couldn't get the safety off with the wand. And so we just quit the entire game.
Yeah.
And that's where they're at with that technology.
I've played a very similar game before, and it's incredibly frustrating. For one, like every little tremble in your hands, like the gun is just fucking shaking like a leaf in the wind. And
these are heavy rifles, yeah.
Like, come on, man! I can hold the gun. Like I can hold the gun. I know I can. I like. It doesn't make any sense.
Guns.
The bow and arrow games are always, in my experience, I haven't played VR in a couple years, but last time I did, bow and arrow felt really realistic, and it worked really well. Something you have the 2 grip points and just pulling it back, like as the string is being pulled back, and it makes that sort of bendy noise.
Yeah,
like you're getting a little vibration in your hands, and then when you release that thunk, you get a little vibration there too, and the trajectory feels right. Like, I was really good at the archery game. I like that a lot.
That sounds more fun anyway.
Something I'm really curious about. So on this topic, where if you guys have topics, you can always throw them out there. Something I'm really curious about for everyone here. What is the last like tech thing where when you were introduced to it, you were like, wait, this is actually next generation and this is fucking awesome, and it like is totally like worth the hype and everything?
I think it might be HDTV, like way back when like I got my first like big screen 1080p television and watched like a 1080p DVD on it, and like going from like standard definition to that was kind of mind blowing. It was like, this is so much better.
That's the most recent thing, and nothing since then has been of the same level. Like, not the watch I got her.
I mean, going like PC gaming and 1440p and high frames, I definitely like right away I was like, oh, this is so much better. But I wasn't blown away by it like I was with like HDTV.
I remember you being very impressed with VR. Now I know it always seems to last just a couple of weeks with people, but you wanted to share it. Like you set it up so people could see on streams the game you were playing, and now you still get a kick out of showing it to people who haven't seen it. So yeah, my favorite thing about VR was always demoing it for other people, because it's that initial like moment of like your hands moving in the game like your hands are moving in real life. Like it fails when you try to like operate a gun or do a complex task because your fingers are so tactile, and we can do so many things with our hands and fingers. It's what kind of separates us from the lower hominids. But in the game, you're back to being dumb guy who like does this.
Yeah.
And maybe this, if you're lucky, and you're just like pawing at things again like a fucking animal. But that initial moment where you're like, ho, look at this. Hands are moving, punches are throwing. Oh, pick up box. I've got it. Throw. It went. Like that is kind of mind blowing at first.
But the novelty wears itself out really quick if it's not like authentic. Yeah.
I remember the novelty with the Wii. I got the Wii when I was in high school. Or I guess
this is what blew you away.
Yeah, well, in high school, what blew me away at the time was like my younger brother got a Wii, and I remember watching him play it and then joining in to play and like being like, damn, Mario Tennis or Wii Tennis, it knows when I'm slicing versus when I'm putting overhand spin on it versus side spin. It's like, and it's very generous with the hitbox. I don't have to move very much. This is great. Like, I just remember at the time, like thinking, this is the future. This is so cool. And it didn't even work very well, frankly. But I think that was like 2005.
This will age me, but I remember when web browsers hit phones, right? So it came in stages. At first, like the shitty phones, like Palm Pilot type phones. I think it was called the Trio.
Yep.
They had
Treo, right?
The Treo.
I may have mispronounced it. I don't know. TREO. You had to use a special markup language. It didn't read HTML. It was like WML. And I built websites at the time professionally. So we would have to build like a second website next to it. And it was always a shitty version of the real one. And then I got an iPhone and it was like, whoa, I have like the real internet, not the mobile copy bullshit downgraded awful version of the internet. The real internet is in my pocket. And this is like 2000, I don't know, 5-ish or something.
Yeah.
So, the internet was pretty developed at the time. It isn't what it is now, but like all your shit was on there. You know, that's how you interacted with companies already. Like, you know, the e-commerce was all over. Like the real internet was in your pocket and not the like a fucked up copy of it.
I forgot about the bullshit internet.
Yeah. So now, like, oh my God, like the sum of human knowledge is in my pocket all the time. Like that was mind blowing for me. Like the internet entered my pocket. It wasn't just, I don't know, some stock tickers and email and weather, right? That's the kind of shit you had before real browsers, and it is pretty cool. Yeah,
I remember having a Motorola Razr that had bullshit internet and sitting and taking a shit and being like, now I can browse the internet on my phone while I'm shitting. And like, then we try and search one thing, and it's like I could drive to the library before I get anything out of this bullshit internet.
I like to think that proctologists are like, this is going to change my game. You know how many hemorrhoid surgeries I'm going to get out of smartphones?
Suddenly people are shitting for 40 minutes at a time.
These phones back in the day, this was like fucking, it must have been like what, like 600 by 400 resolution too. Like you couldn't see shit on these older like flip phone like browsers. And back then the data was insanely expensive because I don't think phones back then had Wi-Fi. I don't think they could connect to routers, right? It was just on the cellular.
I didn't know what Wi-Fi was back then.
Yeah, the first one didn't have.
Wait, oh my God, Wi-Fi exists when I was in high school?
Well, I'm not sure about that.
In 2005, did it exist?
In 2005, was there Wi-Fi?
Yeah, the first Apple phones had Wi-Fi, but they didn't make calls over Wi-Fi, whereas I think now they might.
Okay.
The thing was like
wireless ever.
In 2005, there were no open Wi-Fis to connect to. That was the main issue. And my router at home didn't do Wi-Fi. So it was like Wi-Fi for me did not exist.
Wi-Fi was kind of a cool thing. Like, I don't know. I remember like I knew of Wi-Fi's existence, but it started rolling out at work. I was at Cisco. And it's like, wait a minute. In this office, there's just internet from the air? Like it's just like airborne?
You make a good point with this. Because like anything that comes through the air is essentially magical. When I really stop for a minute and start thinking about things like Wi-Fi, radio, like standard def television signals, I'm like, they just told us it was a thing and we believed it. Like if this is a simulation, like in the real world, they believe that signals can travel through the fucking air. Like
dumbasses.
They're in there thinking that there's something called Wi-Fi. What are they thinking? How do they not? We just keep adding weird shit in, thinking they'll wake up. They just keep believing it. Because
I got a big surprise for 2020, 2021 for them, though.
It's like, how is Wi-Fi believable to you? Because look, I don't know if I'm the only one here who has no fucking clue how Wi-Fi works on a technical level, but I don't.
It's like religion. Wi-Fi is about faith.
Like the next thing is like wireless electricity, right? Like completely wireless. And I know that they've been able to do that with like really close distances. But like the idea that Nikola Tesla had was like this this wireless internet interface, like where like you just push a button and you're getting electricity from across the city or across the state or something
Have you guys
like
seen
that.
Shazam? The movie?
The
Shaq
Shaquille
movie?
O'Neal movie?
One of the greatest movies of my childhood.
No, it's a more recent one. It's from like 2 years ago.
Oh,
It's where the
yeah.
boy becomes a man that is a
the
superhero.
DC movie. Yeah,
I
okay.
watched it recently. Anyway, it's fun. It's not great though. There's a scene in it where he's like discovering his superpowers and he can zap lightning bolts. And he's like, "Your phone's charged. Your phone's charged. Your phones are charged." That's what we need. That's the. I would like it if that happened. My phone has wireless charging now.
Yeah.
Super disappointing. One, it stops working all the time, and it's not really obvious that it's not working. And like you said, ooh, look, it's wireless charging. There's a magnet that's like practically wired. There's a wire attached to the magnet that attaches to the phone. It's just a different kind of plug. Really.
It's just you can pick it up a little faster.
One thing I
and
will
you don't
say-
have to like do that. Oh, I got it backwards. Let me flip it around thing. Like I do like it. Like I hope I can get this. I'm just gonna fucking unplug it.
As a
Like-
gamer, this is
It's
wireless.
nice to just like sit something on this little thing and just go.
Have a
like-
charging.